Perfect. Okay.
Welcome back, everybody, to an extra special live episode this week of the DCL Duo podcast, brought to you by the good folks over at DCL Magazine currently, but the calendar changes today, and so does our sponsor, so stay tuned for some more. We're going to have some announcements on Monday, but Sam, we don't have any pre-show news.
I think the only thing there's a rumor going around, and I think it's true, about the Disney Adventure going to making stops in Malaysia at some point soon. That's the only thing I will say that's come up since our show the other day. And the Wish.
Well, the date for the live stream for the Believe has been announced. They're doing some sort of live stream October 7th, so mark your calendars for the live stream reveal of the Believe. We've already had requests for a Mystery Science Theater 3000 viewing episode of that, so we will have to see. I swear, that episode, just like we put it out, it was in the hundreds, I think, or even earlier, and everyone just keeps coming back to it. So we gotta find a way to make that.
We did that for the Wish. Speaking of the Wish had like 2 medical emergencies this week. It was the Monday to Friday sailing. I think they had a medical emergency Monday night and Tuesday morning, it sounded like. And of course, big shout out to the U.S. Coast Guard, who evacuated at least one person off of the ship. The other person might have been taken to Port Canaveral and taken, off by land. But regardless, we've got that episode in our back catalog. I believe it's episode 458. If you're interested in learning more about what Coast Guard rescue swimmers do, it's one of my favorite episodes.
Tracy's saying something about a Japan ship update. I didn't see anything come across our news this morning about that, but
our friend and content creator Dustin is reporting that the OLC ship is going to have 2, 3, and 4 night sailings. Disney has not confirmed that, so there hasn't been any news from Disney Cruise Line. I've actually heard that as well, that it's going to be I've heard it's going to be 3 and 4 nights, but I don't know. I don't know what's exactly right. So we're not really reporting on that until we hear any confirmation from Disney Cruise Line.
Put that in the rumor bin. All right, let's get on to our show because we've got a fun guest. Yeah, we've been hoping to have him on for a while. So I'm going to invite Kevin in, also known as Dads Love Disney over on Instagram. Welcome, Kevin. It's great to have you on.
Hi, Sam. Hi, Brian. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited to chat all things Disney Cruise Line.
We are too.
I love that you go over a little bit of news beforehand, because I'm kind of catching up on some of the things, because you see and hear little tidbits of like rumors of people saying, well, in the OLC earnings report, they had a report of like these new ships, and I was like, oh boy, like what does that mean?
Yeah.
So that's great. It's always hard to know from like what's out on the internet, like what's actually real news, what's like rumors, what's maybe some fake news, right? So we try to like be when we're like reporting on rumors, we try to be really clear that that's all a rumor, not confirmed, versus what might be more credible or more confirmed. like the New
Yeah.
York thing, right? Everybody's been talking about is Disney Cruise Line going back to New York. I'm confident they're going back to New York, but I'm not confident it's happening in 2027. I think it could be further down the road.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We haven't got that itinerary
do you think
released.
we'll learn like all of this at D23 or some of it?
I think so. I
So,
think there's an itinerary announcement that should be coming. Although I was looking at my our show list earlier today and realizing Disney Cruise Line didn't release the itineraries until about late August last year.
yeah.
So I know all these people, their fingers crossed, are coming. You know, they didn't come last week when people thought they would. They didn't come this week. We're in that part of the cycle where everyone's like, next week's going to be the day. I suspect at D23 what we'll hear is some more, maybe a little bit more detail about the Believe and her maiden voyage and when that will go on sale. And then they'll reserve all the news for the full news for the Believe to the preview that they're doing in October.
Yeah.
I'm kind of
And
fingers
probably
crossed.
booking after that, I would
Well,
guess, because
yeah.
it seems kind of late for booking, because they're going to release, the ship's going to launch in 2027. Late 2027 is all we've heard, but that could be Christmas, that could be, Thanksgiving, who knows. But it will be late for booking, but I can't imagine them doing booking before that October 7th reveal event, because they're going to really want to get like a lot of excitement.
Oh, I think they'll put that
maiden.
I think they'll put that maiden voyage on sale as soon as they possibly can. I mean, that thing will
No.
sell out regardless of what they announce in October. So, yeah. It
But
might
they've
drive
got to
more
sell
people
out the
back.
other ships first. They've got to put the other ships, like the next itinerary release, right? That includes the fall of 2027. That has to go on sale before the Believe goes
Oh,
on
for sure.
sale. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
So,
All right. Well, we let's give Kevin a chance to sort of introduce himself. I will just say to everyone out there listening, watching, if you have not checked out the content that Kevin puts out over on Instagram I'll give the handle again at Dads Love Disney. Just fantastic stuff. So head over there and just subscribe.
It's hilarious stuff. Hilarious stuff.
Kevin, how'd you get into doing this? Being a sort of a content creator around Disney. What drove you to do that? What's your background? How long you've been doing it? Give us all the details.
Yeah, so it kind of goes back to my acquired love of Disney, and that came later for me. So maybe I'll do a little bit of like an origin story.
Yeah,
because it's short. I only ever went to the Disney parks once in my life before I was 30, no, 20, 28, 29. I went when I was 15. It was the one trip, my dad saved up all his airline miles and we went for a week with my extended family. And we went in June and it was very hot. And it was one of those things where, they didn't know what a fast pass was. We stayed off property. But my dad wanted to make sure we got all of our money. We had like all the memories and all the things, which like is hilarious because I was like making fun of him the entire trip. And now I see like now that's me. Like you just turn into your parents no matter what happens. And so anyway, so I swore after that trip I would never go back to Disney. It's like I don't like it. Now I love the Disney content. I love the movies. I loved all, but the parks, I was like, no, not for me, right? And so fast forward 12, 13 years, I meet my now wife. She comes from a Disney family. They went every year or every other year. And they drove down, but they take it easy. They like will go to the parks. They stay on a Disney resort, which I couldn't even imagine. They would go do a ride, hang out at the resort all day, no pressure, because they know they're always coming back. Right. And I said to myself, well, that's kind of cool, but no. And so the way that they hooked me in, I blame my mother-in-law. She didn't ask me, dating my now wife at the time. She didn't ask me. She just booked me on the Disney Magic in 2015. And my wife's like, "You're coming." And I was like, "Okay, all right." And I loved it. I absolutely loved it. And it felt so different to me. Now, this is 2015.
Mhm.
And I knew that the Disney Cruise Line was very special to like my now wife's family. And so my wife and I, or my girlfriend at the time, had been dating for a couple years. And so on like the last day of that cruise, I proposed to her in the cabin.
Oh, I
That's
love
And
sweet.
that.
yeah, and so it's a bit special for us, like for me. Now, here's the thing about my wife. She does not love cruising. She gets a little bit motion sickness, a little bit claustrophobic. Like it's kind of that thing. And um so I loved like the itinerary, like used to get the paper navigator and like, okay, I
Yeah.
could go see Thor Dark World at this time, and then I can go do the tastings. And if my wife wasn't feeling well, now I'm on my own on the ship. Like I can just do whatever I want. No
Whatever I
kids,
want.
entire adult section. I loved it. And then a couple years, we get married. A couple years later, we have our daughter, and like my daughter, I think was 6 months old. Yeah, because when we took her to the Disney World parks, she was only 18 months old. But my mother-in-law booked us rooms at Port Orleans, and we went, and the God, those memories like you're making with now your child. And
Yeah.
again, the way that they do Disney is very laid back. They're not charging around the parks, getting absolutely everything, getting their money's worth. I don't think there is a way to get your money's worth at Disney. If you go in with that mindset, I think you're going to be a lot happier. I think you just set the right expectation for yourself, and that's how they do it. And so after that trip, I could not wait to book the next one. And in that time frame, we had gone on, I think, one or two more cruises. We went on. I'm looking at my notes here. We went on the Fantasy in 2016, and yeah, and then we waited about. There was that sort of COVID period, and then we've
Right.
just been on a bunch. But my mother-in-law is platinum. She's been on every ship, I think, except for the Destiny and obviously the Adventure. But they're big cruisers, and so it's very easy for us to sort of say, to say to my mother-in-law, like, "Hey,
We'll come
you can
too.
yeah, yeah, yeah." So that was sort of like the origin story of how I got into Disney. So I was like, I don't love the parks and the experiences, and then Disney acquired Lucasfilm,
Yeah.
and then they acquired
And
Marvel.
then, and
I'm
then the
like,
love story really, really kicked
and I'm
in.
like, well, now they have my entire childhood and all the things I am so passionate about in my geekdom. Um, and so I was following a lot of content creators, and I was spending an inordinate amount. And my background is in marketing,
Mhm.
in digital marketing, everything from strategy to like paid earned and owned media and content creation, content and assets, and creative campaigns, and some data too. And so at about that time, it was around COVID, like a lot of people, I was consuming a crazy amount of content per day.
Yeah.
I was just doom scrolling, and I got to like hate it. And so the one area of like social media that I really enjoyed, because it felt super positive and there's a lot happening in the world, um, was this little corner of the interwebs that like Disney content creators were operating in. It felt super positive and like welcoming and engaging, and I loved it, but I still didn't love that I was consuming content. So I said,
Mm.
okay, well, if I want to be involved in this community, what if I flipped it? What if I could engage by, instead of consuming, creating content? And I always loved making, like my aunts in the backyard at the pool, like
Yeah.
laugh, like telling
Doing
jokes,
like a
or like
little skit or like, yeah.
just trying hard just to make them laugh. There was nothing
Yeah.
better to me than like making my uncle laugh, like belly laugh. Like that was just, it was the greatest. And so I was like, if even if I could just do that for like 10 people, I'm going to do it. And so it just so happened we pushed back a couple of cruises because of COVID, obviously.
Mhm.
And I also booked the Galactic Star Cruiser the day that you were able to. And we went on a voyage in June, and it opened in March, I believe.
Mhm.
and there were 2 trips like back to back, like a month apart. And I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to do this, I'm going to be down there for 2 weeks. I'm not going to have this. I'm never going to be down there for 2 times in 3 months ever again.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, here I am. But I said, I'm going to start this. I'm going to create content. And so May the 4th, 2022, I posted my first video and I had no idea what I was doing. It was a horizontal video. It wasn't 9:16. But I didn't know what I was doing. I was just going to do it, and I was going to learn by doing, and I was going to download all the apps and platforms and learn how to edit my own videos and work the algorithm. I kind of knew some of that just from my day job. And I know kind of what works, engagement and that kind of thing. Or at least I knew the theory and the strategy, but the content creation economy and what engages people in this world, I really didn't know, and it interested me. And so it was the only aspect of marketing I had not physically like been hands on keyboard and had done myself at some point in my career. And so I thought, let's just go for it. And so like, I'm a goal person. So like, how many followers, what do you want to do? And I was like, listen, I think if I can get 1,000 followers, this is going to be the greatest thing ever. And that's all I want. And so so it took a while,
and like
but
47,000 later, Kevin.
yeah. But I will tell you this, I think the thing that I was looking for, it wasn't followers, it wasn't brand deals, it wasn't monetization, right? Because I have a job, I do
Right.
some things, and I don't think I ever want content creation to be my only job. That seems very stressful to me because so many things change so often, and I like a little bit more stability. And I also love the fact that like I don't have to go chase followers, or I don't have to like be first or do some things. I can just try and make people laugh. And so one of the things that I immediately recognized was going to be the benefit was the connection with people that I didn't anticipate. I thought I would just get some joy from creating content, making people laugh. If I could get one like or one comment, LOL, or like, that would be great. But it was the friendships and the connection that I made with some people that I still haven't met yet in person, some people that I have, and I consider them friends. People like Scott, Emily, of course, who I create a lot of content with, and others. And so I think that's been like the best part of it. Yes, I get to create content. I get to make people laugh. That's fun. Yes, like I've been able to do some things that I kind of like, even this year, I'm like, what am I doing here? How did this happen? But it's about, I think, the connection and meeting people with kind of shared joy, if you will.
Shared interest, shared passion. And that I got to tell you, Kevin, that so shines through in your content, and it's one of the reasons like I asked you to come on the show, because we have like a very similar ethos for our show. Like we are both full-time lawyers. We do not do this for money. We actually donate all of our proceeds to charity. When we are in the black from this show, we donate our proceeds to charity. That's like we have sponsorships to make sure to cover the costs for the show. That's the point. And Patreons for the same reason. But for us, it's about the community. It's about the friendships and relationships we made. And we really started the show. I mean, Brian had this harebrained idea. We've got an episode on our origin story, but like, it was about actually spending time with one another. That was the beginning of the show, was really about that. And so it's been such a blessing, meeting other creators in this community. And I strive to be as good at content creation as you are, Kevin. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it, but
I've seen some of your stuff. Don't cut yourself short. There's some gold in there. There's some gold. You just have to hit the right moment. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely. But obviously we do the podcast and we do multiple episodes a week, and we love doing that, and we love sharing with other positive people in this community who love Disney, who love Disney Cruise Line, who love the Galactic Star Cruiser, which we also went on and love. But
all right.
So Kevin, off air on this point, you mentioned like that you had learned a few things through this journey to be more successful. Anything that you would share? I mean, we've got other content creators that watch and listen to the show, and budding content creators out there. Like, any tips that you would give people as they're embarking on this journey?
Yeah, I think we were talking about it earlier. Don't overthink it.
Mhm.
Um, Shoot it, post it. It's not perfect. That's okay. And what comes from that, I think the biggest, there was a year where I posted every day, I think for a year, sometimes multiple times a day. But not, that was rare. That consistency in terms of like, at least at that point in the algorithm, that consistency is helpful for these platforms who make money by showing content to people. Give them content to show people, and they will figure out the people that you need to be in front of. They will. They're great at it, right? It's and it's also scary, right, in some aspects. But in our space, in our little corner of the positive corner of the web, being consistent, I think, is most important. And it also, I think, is an opportunity. You hear about the 10,000 hours, and I'm a big believer in like working hard at things and try and failing and failing and failing and trying again and just smiling and saying, okay, what's next? What's next? Um, Keep doing that. Don't get discouraged. Even if you are shown to one person that you weren't shown to, that they had no idea you existed yesterday, and they liked your content, that's a win. So do it. Just do it. Just do it. And look, yeah, like is some of the some of the stuff I do is like really cringy. Am I like, oh, I don't know if I really want that out there. Maybe I'll delete that. Early on, there was a lot of that. Like I would delete stuff. I was like, yeah, I don't really like that. Or maybe I was trying too hard occasionally, and I'd be like, no, I don't want that to be out there. And so, but being consistent is how I think you learn to master like your voice, and it also I think helps with these platforms that are trying to figure out who to put you in front of.
Well, that's
Yeah.
the best piece of advice when we started our show was somebody said the first 100 episodes are throwaway. Like they're just
Yeah,
you learning the craft, figuring it out, finding your voice, getting your rhythm, all that sort of stuff. I like what you're saying too about the content creation side of things because a lot of it's just getting comfortable being the guy who has a camera pointed at their face and
yeah.
talking into it while everyone else is just milling about their day. Ed asked a really good question in the chat. I'd be curious to know your answer, and I'm happy to give mine too. Did the pandemic create a golden age of content creators?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I think we talked a little bit about this, and I even referred to, referenced it earlier. I was consuming, it was all you could do. And so anyone who had anything to say and was, really engaging, which there are a ton that popped up, especially in the park space, they had to get really creative because they can go to the parks for like what, 6 months. In some cases, I think Florida was closed for 6 months and Disneyland was closed for a year. The cruises were shut down. Like
Yeah.
you had to get creative in your house. And I think that was like in a strange, please don't take this the wrong way. Like it was a strange gift where people were like, ooh, I've got to, some of your best ideas come when you are pushed out of your comfort zone and out of the box. And I think you see some creators that just blew up because they took that challenge and ran with it. And so it definitely created a golden age for content creators. Did I sort of like sometimes in dark moments I'll be like, if I only started a year earlier, I'd be like much bigger. And I'm like, who can I wouldn't have been able to do it a year earlier
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I kind of didn't put together what I wanted to do. Like it didn't occur to me yet that I was consuming way more content than I wanted to, and I wanted to flip that equation. So it happened for me right when it had to happen. But when people are stuck in their homes, they are starving for content, and you saw that, and movies and TV shows shut down for a while,
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
so I believe social media is a broadcast channel. I don't. I think that very clearly. I think yes, there's connection there, but it's a broadcast channel. It's a broadcast medium, and so they turned to social media. Um, and then obviously TikTok, I think, exploded during that time frame too.
Yeah, it's funny. Everyone always laughs when we tell them we started our podcast in March of 2000 or 2020 when the whole world shut down, including cruising. But it turned out to be kind of
We had
yeah,
planned it before. To be fair,
Yeah.
our first episode came out like right before the shutdown or right as the world was shutting down, so it wasn't
Yeah.
intentional, but it was, yeah, it was a
I,
blessing in that way.
I've got one more question for you on this content creation aspect of things,
Mhm.
Kevin, before we dive into the cruise line. A lot of concern out there right now about AI and what it's going to do to content creation, and
Mm.
those sorts of folks. Have you seen it changing how you apply your craft here in content creation, or where do you see it headed?
Um, for me, no. I think I got some really good advice from another content creator, Paula, who runs the handle Practically Perfect Family. You guys probably know her. I don't know if she does Disney cruises too. But she's been obviously she's been really helpful to me. Like I consider her like a bit of a mentor. She did it all herself too. She kind of just figured it out. And so whenever I have like thoughts or questions, one piece of advice that she gave me, and I've seen this from other content creators, because I started to go down the path of creating memes. They're very easy, um, technically, right? Like if you have some kind of a sense of humor, you can typically find things, and you'll see a period in my content. I haven't taken them down because some of them like still crack me up, but like there is there's a period where like I was cranking out meme videos and some of them were exploding. Um, but I was getting away from what I originally started to do, which was like make people laugh, but like have it be me, right? And I think that portion of content creation is never going to go away, right? The personality, the engagement of like looking in someone's eyes. You're seeing
I
it
mean,
even
the authenticity of you going into the hallway 12 times to check if your luggage is there when you're on the Wish, right? Like that, like I know that like it seems simple, but it's so funny because that's exactly what happens on the cruise on
right.
embarkation day. You go out
Yeah.
12 times to check, is my luggage there, right?
Yeah.
Like it's
And like at some point, maybe not today, because I use AI a lot in my job, right? Like in my day job. Um, but you, maybe someday AI will come up with like really engaging creative ideas. I haven't seen one yet.
Yeah.
And I work with some of the best creative directors in the world, and I haven't seen anything that comes close to maybe even some of the creative directors like mediocre ideas. Like, and so now can you technically do some things in AI that are like, with the compute power and assembly of things and sharpen things, and yeah, sure, of course, it's what it is. It's just
Yeah.
it's insane compute power. I don't think you can ever replace like what's going on in the human brain and the human heart and the
Yeah.
connection of those two things. And so I don't know where it's going. But I will just say this because I operate in like the marketing industry across, well, in marketing across a bunch of different industries, and I pay close attention to what's happening in the media space. Um, and at the Cannes Film Festival this year, there was a big change. Um, Content creators were sort of looked at for a while, like I mean, like massive YouTubers, as like, okay, we've got to keep these people. They're here because they've got something with like the younger generation, so we'll invite them, but like we're going to keep them to the side. They're not part of like what we do. And over the last couple of years, you've seen it shift a little bit more, a little bit more. This year, the content creators were hosting the panels. They were
Mm.
hosting the parties. They were the draw to come and learn about a new movie, a new TV show, a new like media platform, a new campaign, whatever it was, at the largest sort of marketing, festival event in the world, and they were the draw.
Yeah.
That is telling to me that this is a broadcast medium, and AI can never do that.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
they're plucking the most engaging, really personable, really like creators that you can't take your eyes off of, and rightfully so. They deserve it because they worked really hard at their craft. Like again, posting every day, multiple times a day, filming, like you guys with the podcast a couple times a week. It's an insane amount of time. I actually don't know how you guys do it. And these folks
Yeah.
are doing it for years and years and years, and they love it. And so
Yeah.
I don't think you can ever replace that.
It is so interesting to see. I mean, Blake Silva is a great example, Disney content creator who is now
Right?
being invited to do hosting type gigs and
Yeah.
interview on red carpets and whatnot for, for like,
Yeah.
I mean, he was invited to, I forget, it's the Avatar, whatever the Avatar movie was. Like, he was on the red carpet interviewing the stars of the movie, right? And like,
Right.
I don't know, 8 years ago, right? That wouldn't have been a thing, right? It would have been
No.
just like the person from ET, right? Whoever the normal like host was
Exactly.
would be doing those red carpet interviews. So it is interesting to see that transformation. All right, well, we got to jump in and talk about Disney Cruise Line a bit here,
Yes.
since that's of course the focus of our show. Now,
Yeah.
Kevin, your most recent cruise was on the Disney Wish. Which of the ships have you been on now across the fleet?
Okay. So I said to you earlier, I had to go
You
back
did your
into my own
homework, yeah.
and be like, okay, get in the app, like scroll down. What's the first one? So the Magic was the first ship. Then the Fantasy about a year later. And then like a huge jump in time, and I went on the Dream. And then I kind of did the Wish class ships almost in like a weird reverse order. Um, and I'm kind of glad I did. So
Mhm,
I've been on the Treasure, the Destiny, and the Wish.
mhm.
The Destiny and the Wish were both this year. And then I put a deposit down on my next one for 2027. And I don't know which one that's going to be, but my wish list is obviously the Believe, the Adventure. And I want to go back on the Magic.
Yeah.
So yeah, so those are the ships that I've been on.
Wait, so you
Um,
haven't been on the Wonder then? So the Wonder and the Adventure are the
Oh,
only 2 that you're missing. Oh, you have to go
you
on
have
the
to go on the
Wonder,
Wonder.
Kevin.
Oh, you'll
There's
I
love the
something
know.
Wonder.
magical about the Wonder.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I thought that the Magic, and it still might be, the Magic was my favorite ship. It was my first one.
Sure.
But I also loved, it never felt crowded. It never felt maybe as
Mhm.
crowded as some of the Wish class ships did. And yeah, I don't know. It was just, and we got engaged on the Magic. And so yeah, so the Magic is one that I want to go back on. But yeah, I kind of want to like just check the box for the Wonder. And so, if I don't know where the Wonder is right now. Is that
Alaska.
it's in
Yeah.
Alaska? Yeah. My wife was like, I want to go on an Alaskan cruise. I was like, the only way, I'm a warm weather guy. Like I do not like the winter. The only way you will get me to Alaska is on a Disney cruise ship. So that's gonna have to be it.
Well, and honestly, so I'm gonna give you a recommendation. My recommendation is to go to Alaska on the Wonder in August, because it's gonna be warmer at that time. I mean, I'm not saying you won't have like all the seasons and through the course of 7 days. You may still have a day of winter, especially when you're at Glacier Day. But it's the most magical cruise of all. I mean, maybe setting aside, we went to Norway also on the Magic, and that was amazing too. But yeah, Alaska
Oh,
is
wow.
just unbelievable. And the Wonder is the warmest of the ships. So we've got many people in the chat saying if you like the Magic, you'll love the Wonder. You must go on the Wonder. But yeah, there's something really special and warm about the Wonder and sort of the culture of the crew. And of course, you have Tiana's, which is amazing. Yeah,
Right.
it's just fabulous.
All right. Well, then that's it. That's next. The Wonder.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I mean, and no shade to the Magic, but the Wonder beats the
Yeah.
Magic every time.
so,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Kevin, I wanted to ask, since your handle is at Dads Love Disney,
Mhm.
what has been your favorite moment on the cruise line as a dad? I'm sure you have several, but like, what's one of your favorite moments?
Um, there's been a couple. There's one that stands out to me, um, where my we went on the fantasy, or sorry, the Dream in 2022, and we're walking through the grand. It's not called the Grand Hall on the Fantasy. What is it
The
called?
atrium.
The atrium. Yeah, the atrium. So we're walking through the atrium, and oh my god, this is bad. What's the main restaurant there off the atrium? Is it Triton's or is it
It's on the Fantasy. It is the Royal
Royal
Court or
Court or
Royal
Royal
Palace.
Palace?
Royal
I
Court.
never.
Yeah, walking by, and all we hear is someone yell my daughter's name, and could have been someone else, and we were just like looking around. I didn't know who it was, and I look over, and they're standing in line to go into or get their picture taken with Rapunzel or somebody was her best friend from preschool and her parents who we hadn't seen. We never like, hi, like drop off kind of thing. Like,
Yeah.
and so they were, sorry, daycare and preschool, right? So they've known each other the longest from them when they were 3 months old to when they graduated preschool, during COVID. And we hadn't seen them since. And, um, we live less than a mile from each other. We just reconnected, and she reconnected with like a best friend that she saw every day her entire life in the very beginning, like early stages of her life. And they went to the kids club together and they were in the pool
Ugh,
together. And I know it's not like a Disney moment, but like and then we found out that they're like, our friends Mike and Jeff, they are very like much into Disney as well, and we didn't know it until we met on the ship. We're like, let's drop the kids off and go to the adult section and get a drink and that kind of thing. And so that was such a cool moment. Um, and then I think the next one was the fact that we went this last trip on the Wish. They came with us,
yeah.
and the girls were old enough now where they're walking around the ship by themselves or hanging out in what is it, Vibe? They're in the Vibe Club
Edge.
and
Edge is
or
Edge is the
yeah,
tween, yeah. Vibe is the
yeah,
teen one. We only know
yeah.
because our son is 12, and so he's in Edge as well.
He's an Edge. Yeah, so they're going to Edge. And we give her like an old phone that only has the Wi-Fi so we can just message her when she's, and so she's like, "Oh, I'm going here. Okay, Emily and I are going to get ice cream or like, whatever it is." And um so yeah, so it was very cool to see them now as like tweens dancing at the pirate party and doing all those things, and we've become very close with them again. And so it's been my favorite moment as a dad. Other than just like, I think she, I think Disney creates content and we'll sit there and be watching a show, and she, will it's like we're reconnecting again, like in fact, we were just walking through Epcot on our last trip to Disney World. She kind of was like holding my hand as we were walking through a little showcase. And I don't know what it's like with your son, but like at this age, they're sort of like trying to figure out how to get away from you and like what's like weird and not. And it was during like Luminous, and the Tarzan song is playing and that kind of thing. And I was like, oh, this is amazing. So there's those kind of moments all over the Disney Cruise Line. I feel like there's even more of them.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, those are the best. It's like you hear a song, you're walking through the atrium, there's a song being played, and you just grab her hand, or she'll grab your arm or something and walk through, and that's kind of cool.
I feel like the you're so right. There are so many opportunities for those moments on the cruise line, and I totally agree with you. I think that there's even more opportunity than that. I feel like the cruise line invites this sort of more relaxed atmosphere, or at least
Yeah,
traditionally has. I see some of that changing with the Wish class of ships as they've gotten more and more involved and more lines and more things to do. Like it's taken a little bit of that, but still, just those impromptu character interactions, those moments as a family that you didn't expect. The people you meet on board the ship, like there's just it's so ripe for that because everyone's just kind of. I feel like they're in a relaxed state that you don't always get at the parks unless you adopt the philosophy you talked about at the beginning of the show, which we adopt too, which is I'm not here to do everything. I'm here to do some things that I want and enjoy myself. But yeah, I think you're so dead on there, Kevin. Um,
yeah.
what's been your favorite cruise that you've done thus far?
Um, that one was pretty. The when we went on the Dream and we reconnected with our friends, that was pretty great. But it was only 4 days.
Too
I
short.
need 7 days.
Yeah.
I need 7 days on a cruise. So in that sense, I think my favorite was we went in 2025 last year, spring break. We surprised my mother and father-in-law for their 50th anniversary. They went on the Disney Treasure for their 50th, and they didn't know all their kids had booked as well. And
Oh,
so we turned. There's a great
you
video.
just
I'll
like
like
show
DM.
up basically.
We turned the corner, and they were like, "Oh!" And it was us and all the grandkids, and they were,
They lose it.
yeah. Well, like my mother-in-law first, because she's like a serious cruiser. She said, "Is that why my dinner reservation's all messed up?" Because I was trying to get them hooked in with us, but without them knowing. And I was like, "Yeah, I think so. Like it was our fault. Like what?" And so,
Oh my god,
seven
that's
days.
hilarious.
Yeah, 7 days with like my daughter and her cousins and her aunts and uncles and my in-laws, and the treasure was so great,
Mhm.
um, for many many reasons. I love that class of ship for a couple reasons. There's some things I think it's just the way it is, and I'm sure we'll talk about it. But like, um, it was great. There was just so much to do, and I am someone who loves to have a lot to do
Yeah.
because I
Yes.
can't sit still. So
Same,
yeah,
same. I have FOMO and I wanna do, and so, that's what I love about the Wish class as well, especially the Treasure and the Destiny in particular. I think there's so many different activities to go to and things to see, and
and
it
I
really.
just realized the Destiny. I thought they were only ever going to do 4-day itineraries because the way that the story and the Destiny is just so meticulously told through
Mhm.
those days of different events. And I was like, oh, they're probably never going to do a 7-day because, like, what are they going to do? Fill the rest of the days with other content? That seems really arduous. But
Yeah.
I guess I don't know
They
what they're
did,
doing,
they
but
did
like, there
they
are
did
7-day
choose.
itineraries now.
Yeah, we just interviewed our friends, and we've actually interviewed two separate sets of folks. Our the episodes should be coming out probably next month, but about those 7 night itineraries on the Destiny, and there is so much to do, and they just kind of spread out the storyline
Good.
throughout the cruise a little bit better, and it's I think better because the 4 and 5 night cruises on the Destiny, it's so compact and there's so much to do, and you can't possibly do everything. If you are a person like me and Kevin who wants to do everything, it's really, really hard, and not really possible to do it
I
all.
need to be I need to be scheduled to relax on Funnel
Yes.
Vision, like, and I went on the Destiny with my friend who's also a dad, and it was kind of like a bit of a dad's getaway, and like I use it to like create a ton of content because I had a ton of ideas for the cruise, um, and we did all the things, and I was like, oh my, there was only maybe one day where I spent a couple hours in the infinity pool or on Funnel Vision, like just relaxing watching a movie. And I like to schedule that in too, where like I'm like, okay, this period of time there's not really anything going on that I want. I'm gonna go sit in Funnel Vision and watch Aladdin and eat some pizza.
Yeah. I mean, that's Brian is the one who kind of forces me to do some of that because it'll be like day
Good, Brian.
3 or
We
4.
need
Yeah.
you in our lives. We need you in
We
our
need
lives. My
everyone
wife is
needs
the same way.
Yeah, everyone needs a Brian who just wants to sit at the pool with a drink in hand, maybe a book or some puzzles, and just kind of relax. And so he'll let me run around with my, like a chicken with my head cut off the first several days. And then like by day 4, he's like, please can you just come sit with me at the pool? And I'll be like, okay, I'll come sit with you at the pool.
Like shaking, like
Yeah. I'm like I
I'm
start
tired. You
twitching
gotta
because
tie
I
us
can't.
down, Brian. Yeah, you gotta tie us down with a towel.
Exactly.
Something.
Exactly.
Well, Kevin, since you mentioned it, some of the idiosyncrasies you've experienced on the ships, like what do you think is, Disney's bringing a lot of ships online here in a very short period of time. So a lot happening in the cruise line. Like, what are some of the things that you see that you wish they maybe did a little bit differently? But also, like, what are you hoping for? Like, cruising seems to be something you've caught the bug, like many of us have once we experience the cruise line. So like, what are you hoping to see out of, an expanded fleet? Where are you hoping they go? What are you hoping they do?
I love what I'm seeing in terms of the immersiveness of the storytelling on the latest two ships.
I mean, it's
I
Star Cruiser, right?
Especially the Destiny.
Yeah.
The parallels between like Dr. Facilier's parlor and what you saw. I don't know. You guys, did you do the Star Cruiser a couple of times?
We did it
We
once.
only did it
We
once.
only were
We
able to
wish
do
We
it
we
only
had
once.
did,
done it.
yeah.
Yeah.
We only did it once too. And did you get the Jedi path? Like, did you make it to the end of the Jedi path where you went in and
Ryan
saw?
did.
Yeah.
I did
Okay.
not. I saw a video of it, but I made it. I went through kind of the engineer path.
I posted a video of it after it like closed because I was like, look, I don't want to ruin this for people who haven't seen it. Like it was so special to me, and that the Facility Ace parlor feels just like that. Like you don't have to do anything to, you just well, you have to stand in line for like an hour and a half earlier to make sure you get in. But the performance and the cast members,
Mhm.
I don't. Yeah, it's special. That's a special thing. Um, and so I love that. I would love to see them do more of that. I don't know if they were able to do that on the Adventure just because it was a ship that they bought and like
Yeah, they
There's
didn't
too many
do
people, like just way too many
different market.
people. Yeah.
Yeah, and a different market. I mean, that market is very focused on character meet and greets, but it's for the picture and maybe the signature. It's not especially with a lot of different languages on board, it doesn't really work as well, I think, and with the number of passenger counts. But I'm totally with you. I think the best thing they did both on the Treasure and the Destiny is the storytellers, because the
Yeah.
storytellers then, with all they kind of string together all these different stories, and then you've got the troublemaking with Cruella and DeVille's, and then you've got
Yeah.
the storytelling of Loki and of T'Challa, right? You have all of these and you can span different worlds, right? You can span the world that Cruella lives in, but you can also span the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? So that I think
It's
is a really cool
yeah,
thing.
it's so simple because that's how we experience it.
Hmm.
We experience like being a Star Wars fan and a Marvel fan and loving Frozen 2 is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. Like
Yes. I
all of
mean,
those.
Lost in the Woods, is that not the best 80s hairband ballad you've ever heard?
Amazing. Yeah, and like it actually was even better in person at Arendelle, right? On the Wish for me. But anyways, I that's how we experience it. And so you don't have to worry about like, well, you have timelines crossing over and like IP crossing over. It's like, yeah, but that's how we experience it as,
Mhm.
you know, people that are immersing themselves in this. And so I love that they're just trying some different things and they're pushing the envelope. I hope they do it even more with the Believe, right? Like Star Cruiser was such a massive jump and so aggressive in trying to like figure
Mhm.
out where to take storytelling. And so I think they just maybe it was too big of a jump for, and so I think I hope they just keep trying to do that.
Yeah,
I
maybe if they had you marketing it, Kevin, because I think to us, one of the failings of the Star Cruiser was just being able to explain to people what it was, right? And we felt like that was kind of a marketing failure, and that it maybe, I mean, it was also very expensive to run, but I think
Yeah.
one of the issues, whereas the ships are maybe easier to market, and then you put on some immersive experiences that people can opt in or opt out of. I'm curious if you think that will as continue, as you mentioned with the Believe, but even beyond for the next class of ship.
I think so. And I don't know much about the next class of ship that's coming, but we'll I think optionality is important.
Mhm.
Um for people. I know that I dragged my wife on the Star Cruiser and like by the end of the first day she was like, "What the heck is going on?"
What did I get
What
myself into?
yeah, like so I
where's
knew what
the
it was because
where's the pool and
I
the
was consuming.
spa, and why can't I get there? Yeah.
Yeah, I was consuming all the time. So I knew, and I was gatekeeping a little bit of like, well, you might have to LARP a little bit. So like, but but yeah, I think the marketing was a failure. I think I I don't know. I don't know. It was an odd time too when you consider
Yeah,
when it opened. Like I
fair.
was wondering up until like we went on, I was like, am I gonna have to wear a mask? You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
like I think
Yeah.
there's some of that was happening as well, and everyone was trying to get their bearing straight. But I'm so thankful that they did that, and I'm very thankful for the cast members that I can't even imagine how they showed up every day
Mhm.
and and didn't just drain their life force and their battery completely because I mean, talking to the captain, my daughter talking to the captain, she was in character. She was
Yeah.
like, and my daughter believed it and just was in it. And I was like, this is incredible. So
Yeah.
um
So,
yeah.
since you were on the Star Cruiser, Kevin, I got to ask you about one of the more controversial ships and venues in the fleet, the Hyperspace Lounge on the Wish. What did
I
you
was hoping.
think as a Star Wars fan and someone who experienced the Star Cruiser? Like, what did you think of that venue?
After
And
night one,
be true and honest here, Kevin.
I was hoping you weren't going to ask me about it. After night one, look, I think first things first, more Star Wars everywhere.
Yes.
More Star Wars, more Star Wars, more Star Wars.
It's a really good
We
point.
went in
It's a huge franchise, and they have like one bar, and they eliminated the day at sea they used to do around it. So
like
yeah,
like love the movies, hate the movies, love the shows, hate the shows. I don't care. I want more Star Wars. I will decide what I love and what I don't, but I want them to tell stories and take risks and do the things. So but we went in after dinner the first night on the Wish, and I was really excited to go in. I probably shouldn't have been in the Haunted Mansion parlor, which is the same space, first, and
No.
then gone to.
Big mistake. As Julia Roberts says in Pretty Woman, huge mistake.
My expectations were low compared to that. I knew it wasn't going to be as immersive as Haunted Mansion Parlor. Haunted Mansion Parlor is like the greatest thing maybe Imagineering's ever done. I don't know. So here's a couple things that I just think. I don't know when it goes into dry dock or they're doing refurb. Probably I don't know. But I'm wondering what happens with the Believe. And the seats are not comfortable, so I don't understand that at all. I Canto Bight, like you're telling a story, you're sort of in this like, a little bit more Star Cruisy like lounge. Okay, that's part of Star Wars. And not everything has to look like Oga's or like, like the Mos Espa canteen or whatever. The cocktails were not good. Like every single person got a different cocktail in our party and we all tried and none of us liked any of them.
yeah.
And we left after 20 minutes. And literally the next time we went in was as we were disembarking. My daughter, you walk sort of around and you walk by it. My daughter's like, I never went in the Star Wars lounge. And I was like, oh my God, we never went back. Come on, let's go look. And we went, like snuck in real quick and looked, and she looked around. She was like, oh, okay. And then we left. So it's, it was a bummer for me. But I think again, they're learning.
Yeah.
Like what works, what doesn't, and they set a new bar. And look, I can't even imagine what went into Haunted Mansion Parlor and how many years of development they needed to do something as immersive as that. And I think like the timing probably didn't work out right. And there was a lot of pressure with the Wish and that kind of thing. So there's lots of things, but I think I believe they will improve upon it and do something else with it. Maybe when it goes into dry dock for refurbishment or something. I don't know. You guys probably know more about that kind of scheduling than I do.
So it is going for dry dock next summer in France because it's going to do that European season, but it's only scheduled for less than 2-week dry dock. So that tells me it will not get a re-theming.
Maybe some new cushions in 2 weeks if they could get some new cushions.
Right. New cushions seating are definitely that is a possibility. New cushions is a possibility for sure. They fix lighting, they fix all that kind of stuff during dry docks. But do I see them really plussing up the theming in a less than 2-week dry dock? I'm leaning towards no. I know that there are others in the community that are like, but they have to. No, they don't have to. They absolutely don't have to. They without that space being plussed up.
Oh, you broke up on us there for a second, Sam, but I think we get the gist. Hey, Sam, I think what we ought to do maybe is,
can we do my game?
Folks like new stuff out of us, and Sam's worked up a little game, and I think we could use that instead of a rapid fire round with Kevin and give it a shot. So yeah, take it away, Sam.
All right, I decided on a game that is called Sail It, Skip It, Sink It. So sail it means like you're giving it 2 thumbs up. Skip it means, it's okay, but I probably wouldn't choose it as my first choice. And sink it means we're getting rid of it. Okay. So sail it, skip it, sink it.
And let me say this before we dive into your specific questions. If you're watching this live and you're in the chat, you can throw your answers in too. So go for it. All right, Sam.
Yeah. All right. Round 1 is ship classes. So the Magic class, the Dream class, and the Wish class. Which one do you sail it? Which one do you skip it? Which one do you sink it? Let's start with sink it. Let's start the bottom first.
Oh no.
and I got to answer Nathan in the chat. Yes, you know this game by a very different name, and I will not say the name on the air.
Family friendly.
Please don't. Please do not.
Friendly.
This is a family friendly show.
Family show. This is tough. I'm going to. Sorry, I'm writing these down. I'm going to sail the Dream class, skip the Magic class, and sink the Wish class.
Wow.
It pains me to do that. Those were the only 3 classes, right? We weren't.
The only, I mean, the Adventure is its own class, but we keep that out of. Yeah,
it pains me to do that.
Yeah,
because I do like the Wish class more than a lot of people. But yeah, the tough choices have to be made, folks.
Exactly. These are tough choices. Okay. Disney Cruise Line Suites. So you get a Mickey bar, Mickey churro waffles, or Dole Whip smoothie that can have rum or without rum, however you choose. But which one do you sail? Which one do you skip? Which one do you sink?
I sail the Dole Whip for my daughter without the rum.
All right.
And I sink the churro. And I skip the Mickey bar because I can't sink the Mickey bar because my wife and I love Mickey bars.
All right. Fair enough.
We'll just skip the Mickey bar.
Kevin, have you been on Royal Caribbean before?
I have never sailed another cruise line other than Disney.
Well,
okay.
So we'll skip that question.
I'm going to change my question. No, I have a different. I have a different question. Okay,
right.
Castaway Cay, Lookout Cay, or the World Showcase. Which one do you sail? Which one do you skip? And which one do you sink?
Okay. Oh boy.
I know this is hard.
This is tough. Okay, I am going to sail the World Showcase. I am going to skip Castaway Cay, even though I love it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sink Lookout Cay only because of the walk. The walk was actually, and I was like, that's not that far. And I wore flip-flops, and the flip-flops like cut into my foot because I never walked that far in flip-flops on concrete. And so I'm sinking Lookout, skipping Castaway, and I'm sailing the World Showcase. I love the World Showcase.
I mean, listen, everybody loves the World Showcase. All right, dining. Main dining, Apollo dinner, room service. Which one do you sail? Which one do you skip? Which one do you sink?
I skip room service. I think I've only got room service once. I will sail Apollo and skip main dining. I've actually skipped main dining more, especially in the Wish class, which I could tell stories. Maybe I'll come on some other time and tell you some stories about, like, we just went to like, what's the
the pub.
The pub.
Yeah.
You get like the bar food. It's so good.
So good. We love the bar food.
Yeah, like go up there, like the pretzels and the loaded tater tots and the chicken wings. You know how hard it is to get chicken wings, like good chicken wings anywhere on Earth, and they've got them on all the Wish class ships. They're amazing.
Preach, Kevin.
I don't say this to every guest, Kevin, but if you've ever seen the Step Brothers movie, I feel like we just hit the scene where it's like, did we just become best friends? Yeah. As I'm with you.
Let's go do karate in the garage.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I love it. All right. Cabin types: concierge, veranda stateroom, or inside stateroom with a virtual porthole.
I mean, come on. Like,
I know.
Okay. concierge, I'm gonna sail. Skip the veranda, and sink would be the inside. I've never stayed in it. I almost did on the Destiny, and the my friend I was traveling with was like, "Sorry, I just can't do it," and he upgraded us without telling me.
I love that.
We have people come on the show who are diehard inside cabin sailors. They're like, I never sleep better in my life. And so, like, Sam keeps wanting to try one, but I'm with you. I'm like, no, I need sunlight if you want me to get out of bed.
I just love seeing I need daylight, but like, I love waking up and like opening up that curtain, seeing the ocean. It's just great.
For sure.
Yeah. No, I would only do it with the old school virtual porthole. So only on the older ships. I'm not doing it on a newer ship.
Okay.
All right. Onboard activities. Hang out on the pool deck. Go to trivia. Bingo.
Ooh, my wife is gonna kill me. I'm gonna sink bingo. She loves it.
I'm gonna sink bingo with you, Kevin.
She's never missed bingo. Her whole side of the family, they love bingo. So it was pool or trivia.
Yep.
I'm gonna skip the pool and go to trivia. I'm a big trivia guy, and especially like the Star Wars, the Marvel. I think I've got like some of the old school. I've got some of the old school medals.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I think when this was probably on the Dream, from trivia. It's just the best. I love trivia, and I want to win. I'm competitive, but like even when I don't win, I just walk away and I'm like smiling. It's great.
I love it. All right, Money Pit is our next round. Disney Cruise Line merch, the Disney Cruise Line photo package, or popcorn buckets at the movie theater.
So it's the photo package, the movie popcorn, and what was the first one?
The Disney Cruise Line merch.
The merch. I'm gonna sink the merch. I don't love the merch. They actually have improved it. I mean, all of Disney merchandise has improved since Bobby Hundreds has taken over as creative director for apparel. I think I was just in the parks last week and I was like, oh my, there's so much good stuff here. Like some of those jackets are amazing and the shirts. So it's getting much, much better. And I think it's just going to cycle through Disney Cruise Line. I'm going to look, I'm going to cheat. A photo packet. Yeah, I'm going to skip the popcorn bucket, even though I've become a popcorn bucket person. And I'm going to sail the photo package. I was devastated when I realized I forgot to buy the photo package coming off the Treasure on our 7-day. And so many cool moments. So I'll never.
You can within 45 days now. You can buy it even after the fact, as long as only U.S. passengers can do that. But within 45 days, it's new.
Oh, yep. Good. Well, I'll never get on it without having purchased it anyway. I'm traumatized.
All right, fellow passengers.
I love this game, by the way, this is great, Sam. This is great. So if this is a new game, keep it because I'm loving this.
Awesome, I love it. Thank you. All right, fellow passengers. 1, the family that saves 10 pool chairs at 6 a.m. 2, the couple that brings a Bluetooth speaker to the adult pool. And 3, the group that's already drunk by 10 a.m.
Here's the problem with this question. There is someone in that party and
in every group.
In my group that is all of those.
Yes.
And it's not me. Okay. So I'm going to sync the Bluetooth music person. Get like, and I've got people I care about and I love that do it, and maybe they'll see this. Stop it. So the Bluetooth, you're just, you're the person on the airplane watching social media
without
videos
speakers,
without your content is what I mean. It's the same thing. I don't understand how it's any different. And if and I've seen that on even Castaway Key. So then there was the chair person.
10 pool chairs. Yeah,
10's a lot, but I've gotten up because I'm an early riser because I can't sit still. I've gotten up and gone and secured chairs. Never 10. And then what was the other one?
The other one,
drunk by 10 a.m.
Drunk by 10 a.m.
Oh, drunk by 10 a.m. I don't think that's good because it's a family cruise. So I'm going to skip drunk by 10 a.m. I like a nice cocktail, but I don't know if I could do that at 10 a.m. And then I'm gonna sail the pool chair thing,
I
because
like
I am kind of that person. I've never done 10. That's a lot, but I've done 2 or 3. And usually I do 2 because my daughter, if she wants to sit in the chair, I'll go hang in the pool. Like we'll take the minimum amount of chairs, but
See,
Mhm.
and we
that I can support. That is the right way to do it. I got a family of 3. I'm going to grab 2 chairs. Like that, I would allow people. Yeah, yeah,
I see people grabbing chairs for like all their kids who never use
yeah,
them, and I'm like,
yeah,
what are you doing?
yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, my last one. These are some
Okay.
controversial hot takes. Are you rope dropping Castaway Key? Are you skipping character meet and greets? Or are you skipping the sail away party and taking a nap?
Wait. Okay. So all 3 of those were skips.
Oh, Sam.
Oh,
No, Sam's saying, are you skipping the sail away party? Which one of these would you do? Would you skip the sail away party to take a nap? Would
Oh.
you rope drop Castaway Key, or would you skip? I forgot what the other one was.
character meet and greets.
Skip character meet and greets.
I would not rope drop Castaway Key.
So he's
I
sinking
don't
that.
think we've Yeah. So I'm skipping that. We've never done that, and I've never regret it.
Yeah.
We like wake up, take a nice breakfast, and just get
Mhm.
out there when we get out there.
Yeah.
I've never. There's been times I haven't gone to the sail away party, but it's never been because I'm napping. How could you nap when you first get on the ship? It's like
I don't
I'm like
know. You're in
I'm like
line for Dr. Facilier.
looking
Yeah.
around like this is.
I would say the question should be, Sam, all right, skipping the sail away party for any reason, because there's the diehards out there. So it sounds
Fair.
like Kevin has at least skipped the sail away party before. Yeah.
Yeah. I will skip the sail away party, and then what was the other one?
Would you skip character meet and greets? Or are you like, I'm going to all the character meet and greets?
Not all of them, but I'm selective.
Yeah.
Like I've waited in line to meet Stitch,
That's great.
for like 20 minutes, which is a lot. But I won't. Yeah, I'll be very, very selective. Yeah.
Who's your
love it.
favorite? Since we didn't do rapid fire with you, Kevin, I got to know who's your favorite Disney character.
Oh, Jiminy Cricket.
Nice.
Oh, always
That's a
let your
great
conscience be your guide. I love
That's
that.
a great one.
Yeah, Jiminy Cricket. He's the avatar in my like Disney, my Disney experience thing.
Mhm.
Yeah, and what's so odd is like Pinocchio was the first Disney movie I ever had, like the big VHS case thing.
Mhm.
I don't love that movie at all. I used to watch it a lot, and I went back, and my daughter was like, "This is creepy.
creepy.
Why were you watching?"
It's creepy.
The ride is super creepy. Like when we go through the
The
ride,
ride.
I'm like, this is really creepy.
I got to tell
Yeah.
you, my second grade class, we did a play version. We did Pinocchio. Yeah, I was the
Oh.
dumb cat. The one who goes like, "Huh, do what?" That literally was me. I'm
But
not joking. In my second grade play, so I have very like fond thoughts about Pinocchio, but I went to watch it as an adult also, Kevin, and I was like, "Oh my god, what is this horror?" And then yeah,
But the
it's
bright spot of the movie, beginning, middle, and end, is Jiminy Cricket and the Blue Fairy.
Yeah.
And so them, those characters being in the Starlight Parade is like beautiful. Beautiful. It's almost like they're the stars, and Pinocchio and Geppetto are just sort of like, dressing for like whatever. And I actually like that. So
yeah.
Well, Kevin, we'll wind things down here and get you back to your Friday evening and our listeners back to their Friday evenings. But I can't let you go without giving you a chance. Tell people one more time where they can find you and follow along with you.
yeah, so you can find me Dads Love Disney on Instagram, Facebook, which is new. I've connected Facebook, and so all my content goes to both. I'm going to be doing some interesting things on Facebook. I think a little bit more engagement, maybe a live here or there, live event. But yeah, you can find me on Facebook, and then also TikTok. I don't post on TikTok as much. I'm a bad TikToker.
Same.
You and me both. You and me both.
Yeah, mostly Instagram, and Facebook, and you can find me on TikTok. And then if you ever just like, have something you need, like email me, dadslovedisney@gmail.com. But you can also DM me on Instagram. I'm on there quite a bit. So
Nice. Nice. Well, Kevin, thank you so much for taking some time every day to spend
Thank you.
with us
Thank you
and our
guys for
audience.
having me. This was great.
Yep. And for everyone out there watching and listening, this will go up right away. So we will be back at a regular time on Monday evening, 5:30 p.m. Pacific, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. And Sam, it's the Getting Together episode. Is that right?
That
We're
is.
We're talking about a vow renewal on Disney Cruise Line and big announcement for our new show sponsor. So be sure to tune in with that. But for now, we'll say thank you, everyone out there, for watching and listening, for hanging out with us. And Kevin, thanks once again for joining us. And we'll see y'all next time.
See you, Brian.